The Cleveland Browns have finally turned things around after years of embarrassment, disappointment, quite frankly, heartbreak. It was a long road to get to where they are right now. Some of those stories shall be shared for another day. But the most iconic seasons of recent memory, if you are not a Browns fan, were the Hugh Jackson years. But in today's video, it's not about Hugh Jackson. That is for another day as well. This video is about the guy who came right after him, Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens lasted one season as the Cleveland Browns head coach, just 1 year, and it was a pretty crazy season. So today's video is about the man, the myth, and the legend of Freddie Kitchens, because his story is one that will blow you away. But before I get into Freddie Kitchens, if you could hit that subscribe button for me, I would greatly appreciate it, and leaving a like on this video really helps the video and me. So thank you. Now let's talk about Freddie Kitchens. So to understand Freddie Kitchens, you have to start from the beginning for a brief moment. Freddie Kitchens is actually a former quarterback, and if you didn't know this, he was the former quarterback at Alabama. Yes, he played for the Tide from 1993 through 1998. I know, Freddie Kitchens was a quarterback, and not just a quarterback at some random school, Alabama. Kitchens played for Bruce Arians at Alabama. He was his offensive coordinator. Funny enough, Kitchens was nicknamed Thick by Arians. Yes, he was legit called Thick by his teammates. When Freddie finished his career at Alabama, he at the time ranked 3rd in the school's history in career passing attempts, 4th in career passing yards, and 5th in career completions. Not like he was just some backup either. He legitimately started. Now, Kitchens wasn't going to go to the pros, and he definitely couldn't live without football. He actually played football in Italy after college, and then he came back to sell cars. One of his proudest moments actually of his life when I researched this was when he became salesman of the month at his local car dealership that he worked at. Now, the coaching profession is a laborious, winding road, and you take a lot of small steps to get to the higher ups. And he bounced around, starting at a small college, then he went to LSU as a grad assistant, then he moved on to North Texas to become the running backs coach, then on to Mississippi State where he was the tight ends coach and the running back coach, and then in 2006 was when he started his NFL coaching career with the Dallas Cowboys under Bill Parcells. Now, after a season in Dallas, Kitchens moved on to the Arizona Cardinals, where he was on staff from 2007 to 2017. Spent a decade in Arizona, and Kitchens coached the tight ends from 2007 to 2013 and helped the team make the Super Bowl in his second season there, where they lost to the Steelers. Then from 2013 to 2017, he was the quarterbacks coach for the team. In 2017, he was the running back coach. Kitchens was on the Cardinals staff when Bruce Arians got there, and Bruce Arians kept him. Kitchens coached with Ken Wisenhunt, and then he coached with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians, his former coordinator at Alabama, kept him on his staff when he got there to become head coach of the Cardinals. Something that I didn't know was Freddie Kitchens actually almost died while coaching the Cardinals. One day at practice, he suffered a heart problem, and they needed an emergency helicopter to come pick him up. And on the flight there, Freddie Kitchens style, he took a picture of the helicopter ride to show his kids who always wanted to be in a helicopter. And Freddie Kitchens, what a guy. Now, after his time in Arizona, he made his way back to his childhood team, the Browns. Yes, that was his team growing up, even though he lived down south. Freddie grew up a Browns fan when he lived in Alabama. Now, with the Browns, Kitchens was hired as the running back coach in 2018. Hugh Jackson hired him, and that Browns team was pretty iconic. John Dorsey was the GM. He drafted Baker Mayfield. Hugh Jackson was there. Even Bob Wiley was there. And Hugh Jackson already had a short leash after winning a game the past 2 seasons. Yes, the Browns won 1 game in a combined 2-season stretch. That's for another day, like I said, and it's coming, don't worry. But the Browns were featured on Hard Knocks in the preseason, and during the coaches' meetings, when they were filmed, it has been embarrassing to look back on. The wildest part about Freddie Kitchens was, during Hard Knocks, he was the only one in the room who made sense or felt like he knew what he was doing. That's how bad it was in Cleveland, because this guy was the smartest dude in the room.
When we talked about these people missing practice, I think it would help. I'm fine if Joe thinks that they need to take the day off, but can he be dressed and just put it on me that he won't get any reps?
Well, I think for the new coaches here, we're not taking guys out because they're special or anything like that. We're taking them out for preventative measures.
Hugh Jackson started the 2018 season with a tie in their first game. Then they lost to New Orleans, and then on September 20th, the Browns defeated the Jets with Baker coming into the game winning 21-17. They unlocked the Bud Lights, and that ended a 19-game winless streak. Now, things didn't improve though, and on October 29th, Hugh Jackson was fired after posting a record of 2-5-1 that season through week 8 and an overall record of 36-1 during his 2.5 seasons in Cleveland. Offensive coordinator Todd Haley, who was in his first season with the Browns, was fired as well. And then defensive coordinator Greg Williams was named interim head coach, and Freddie Kitchens was promoted to offensive coordinator. And things turned around really quick. The team went 5-3 to end the season. Yes, 5-3. That was huge for the Browns, especially after how bad they have been, and they had great momentum heading into the 2019 season. Now, John Dorsey had another decision to make on who to make the head coach of the Browns, and the Browns officially interviewed 7 candidates with a wide range of characteristics and credentials. They interviewed Greg Williams, they interviewed former NFL head coach Jim Caldwell, Vikings offense coordinator Kevin Stefanski, Saints assistant head coach Dan Campbell, Patriots linebackers coach Brian Flores, Colts defense coordinator Matt Eberflus, and then obviously Freddie Kitchens. But Kitchens had an advantage over all of these guys. He made the biggest impression to Dorsey, who felt like that's who he felt the most comfortable with. He developed a great relationship with Baker during the season, and Dorsey wanted to keep that momentum going, and that's why the Browns hired Freddie. Now, during his opening day press conference, I'm just gonna play the clips. It was pretty memorable.
This program, I think the program of the football team, the product you put on the field, is in direct correlation of how the coach is. So am I ready or not? I don't know. I can't. Were you ready to be a parent? In church, you've got the choir director, but they don't get any credit, and it's the choir that gets the credit in that setting. And here, everybody wants to give me credit. I just get the people going, and they decide what they want it to be. If we finish 3 and 15 or whatever it adds up to, I'm not good with math. This is the only organization that we care anything about is the one that we're at right now, and that's the Cleveland Browns. We only have one goal here, and that's to host the Lombardi Trophy. I will close with this. Everything will always center around winning the Super Bowl.
So for his season in Cleveland, the 2019 season, it was not great, obviously. This is why I'm making the video. Week 1, the Browns just got ripped apart at home by the Titans, who did make it to the AFC Championship game. They were underrated in that game, probably should have been favored, but you could tell week 1, this thing was not going to go well. The worst moment of the season, though, was when the Browns played the Steelers in November on Thursday Night Football, when the Browns lost to a shorthanded Steelers team 21-7, and Myles Garrett got into a scuffle with Mason Rudolph. He ripped off his helmet and then hit him in the head with it. It was a disaster, and on top of that, Kitchens wore a Pittsburgh Started-It shirt right after the incident out in public, and the Browns went 6-10 this season, and Kitchens was fired right after their final game of the season, and the Browns also got rid of John Dorsey as well. Now, Kitchens constantly took blame for his team's fallings, but the sad part about that statement is that it actually made sense. He was legit the problem in Cleveland. Freddie Kitchens' firing was about his 6-10 record. It was kind of about his approach that spawned what sources say was an unorganized approach to game week preparation. Kitchens was inexperienced, obviously. He only spent time as an offensive coordinator in the interim position, and it showed virtually every way. Freddie clashed with his offensive coordinator Todd Monken, and just things were overall just a mess. And you can see that within a team. I mean, basically, he was fired because he just didn't prepare his team like he should have, and he was not running a organized ship in Cleveland that you need to have when you are a professional football coach. And most Browns fans don't really hate Freddie Kitchens. They can realize he just wasn't supposed to be an NFL head coach. And truly, he didn't ruin the Browns. The next season, they went on to make the playoffs under Kevin Stefanski and looked really good doing so. And he even developed some great players during his time with the Browns. So it's not like it was just some massive failure that set the Browns back. It actually maybe was a good decision because the Cleveland Browns are a Super Bowl contender. Yes, a Super Bowl contender. And that's not like just some bold statement. They are legit a top 4 team in the AFC. Now, what exactly is Freddie Kitchens up to now? Well, currently, Freddie Kitchens is with the New York Giants as a senior offensive assistant. He arrived in January of 2020 when Joe Judge took over, and he had actually worked with Freddie at Mississippi State. 2 are good friends, so that's good for Freddie Kitchens. I'm glad that he has another coaching position because it seems like a lot of these coaches that I've made videos about who completely failed with their organization are kind of out of the game. But for Freddie Kitchens, he's still with the team, so I'm happy for him in that realm. Again, this wasn't like the worst thing that ever happened. The Browns are a Super Bowl contender. Baker Mayfield looks way better than he did to start his career. The running game, the offensive line, the defense, I mean, everything is clicking for the Browns when they got Kevin Stefanski. He cleaned things up, and it looks like the Browns will be competing for a long time to come. Freddie Kitchens is a good man, just a really genuine, honest guy, and people do speak really highly about him. Not like all of his players just bashed him because he was definitely a player's coach. It's just he didn't really have that preparation that you need to be a head coach. He has that Southern charm that everyone loves. He even dressed up as Santa for Carson Palmer's kids. I mean, how do you not like this guy? Freddie Kitchens would be a great coach for a high school team. He's the type of guy that people would rally behind. So this isn't some just Freddie Kitchens was awful. He just was never supposed to be the Browns head coach. And you know what? I'm guilty. I thought it was a good hire, but that was also in part because I believed in the Browns roster. Anyway, Freddie Kitchens did not have the greatest time in Cleveland, but honestly, The guy before him, Hugh Jackson, well, that's going to be a fun video to make one day. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about the tenure of Freddie Kitchens, his one season in Cleveland. I mean, the Browns, again, they're going to be a great team. They already proved it last season in the playoffs. Even when Kevin Stefanski wasn't there for them, things are going really well for Cleveland. It all worked out in the end. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And hit the like button. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.